Okay. We will see if Stream Elements joins us today. Don't know if they're going to.
Did you log in?
I loaded it. I was already logged in.
Well, I mean, you've had that problem before where it started working after you logged out and logged back in on Stream Elements.
It was working last night. It's always a crapshoot.
Okay.
Alright, so we're back working on Chungus. I haven't gotten anything done since we last worked on Chungus, unfortunately, because life. So, as you can see, I left off right where we were. So, we are in the process of attaching poor Chungy's neck here, and time is of the essence, so we are just going to jump on in. I might need to see if the husband still has that roll of foam. I don't know if he does. It might have gotten tossed.
What was it?
That roll of puppet foam, do you still have that, or did you get rid of what was left of it?
I think we have it somewhere.
When you get to a safe place, can you check for me and stir the stove?
Yeah.
Or stir the pot on the stove? Because I don't want to disfigure Chungy any more than we need to. And I might need that to make this a little bit easier. So, my needles are all up here. I'm not even sure if they're going all the way through at this point. They might only be the length of the neck. I don't have any like long hat pins or anything. But at least I got the one batch of cookies done. I ripped the audio out of Monday's art stream because it was such a shit show, and combined it with a little bit of pre-Monday stuff that I did forming the neck, and threw that all together in DaVinci last night. I was like, yeah, I'll do this, and then I'll start to record some more stuff on Chungy last night, and yeah, no, that didn't happen. Cool. I need to cut some of that off of there.
Yeah.
Alright. I can get it out of the plastic. Alright, so... Alright, let's go with this.
I bumped it up to 3.5.
Okay.
It wasn't,
I had turned it...
I've got big scissors. You want me to just... There you go.
Alright.
Oh, you pulled the thing. Okay. I don't know if that's going to fit back in there.
Well, it had to have come out of there at least once. Alright. Question is... do I need to tie this together? Probably. Don't have a scrunchie right here. And the husband has the other twine, so I'm gonna have to use a piece of this.
You want this twine? I'm done with it.
I guess, because that twine's not the good twine.
Well, what are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to wrap around this to hold it together.
Ah.
It doesn't have to be. anything incredible here. I think we just need a little something something. To hold us together. So that's all. Okay. Alright, Chungus. There we go, that's a little better. At least now I'm not squishing your neck into the table. Oh good, Stream Elements did decide to join us today. It's always lovely when it decides to cooperate. Alright, so it is Sunday. I hope everybody's having a good one. Managed to start a little bit early today. I wanted to start a little bit earlier, but I needed to get our dinner started. And that took a few minutes. And then we had some animal stuff to deal with. Trying to make sure the old grandma cat isn't getting herself into trouble being hopped up on pain medication. So we're definitely have to add some more fluff to the underside of Chungus here. Stay still. Look here, Chungus. You need to behave. Alright. So alright, I'm gonna pop these out. I don't know if they were doing anything at this point. They might have been doing something. Okay. So this is more or less just to kind of help fill this out. Now we are going to have to add a little bit more stabilization to our leggies. That might come about as we add in a bit more fluff to our stomach. But then again, we also might get it from the tail. We still have to add the tail. Tail and stomach are what we've got left to visit and revisit. Before we start adding our color. And I really don't know what color Chungus is going to be at. I haven't crossed that bridge. I've been thinking about it. So we need to have like a turtle shell back color, right? Alright, let me see, Chungus. I need to see a little bit better here. This is why when I do creatures, I don't do that many on camera, because they are tough to keep in camera. I know a little bit of the recording last night. I was a little off camera a few times. And I hadn't realized it. So I was a bit more focused on trying not to stab thyself. Which is important. Very important. Especially in that spot right there, because I don't feel like we're hitting anything. I feel like I'm hitting air. And you can kind of tell if you're working on something that's dense and then all of a sudden your needle just flies through it. It's like, oh, that's either a spot that didn't get much attention, or I'm not actually connecting to anything. Trying to be real careful with my hand placement here. Alright, so this is a bit that I had just kind of shoved down in there. Probably need one more bit right in there just to kind of fill out the unevenness on a... You okay? On a Chungy's neck here. Alright, so
keep an eye on it because I turned it up.
okay. What the fuck did I just elbow? Oh, okay, that's fine. That can stay on the floor. I will get it later. It wasn't like it was a drink or anything. It was a closed container. Okay. So, hopefully this will help fill out Chungy's neck here. Can't see the other side that well. I'm just trying to kind of like smooth out the thickness here at this point, because we seem to be attached. So I don't want it to go from like thick to thin too noticeably. Just hoping for a smooth transition. I may or may not get that. Like I said, I don't do creatures very often. Although after working on the neck on Chungi here and being fairly happy with how it came out, we might attempt to do a larger desktop garden lawn flamingo. But I need to get some styrofoam footballs or styrofoam eggs to make that a little bit easier. And hopefully a little bit faster. Might have to go one more on your neck here. You're just being fussy, aren't you? Alright. Might have hit the camera there. If it did, I apologize. I know I hit my light. And I'm about as zoomed out as well, I could be a little bit more zoomed out, but this desk is a hot mess, and I don't have that much room. So this is pretty much, Chungi's taking up the entirety of my workspace right now. Maybe someday we'll get a new desk that's a little bit bigger. If I can find one that I'm happy with. I've looked at a couple. But they just haven't. They've almost checked the boxes. Like, I need storage. I actually need to get a firebox is what I need. Because that's really what's in this desk is paperwork. Alright, Chungus. Alright, you might not be able to see what I'm doing here. Because I need to see what I'm doing. Alright, so yeah, we still got a pretty good ring there. So maybe, oh, Chungi. Chungi, your legs are going to need a little bit more attention when we're done here. Alright. So if I put you there, and then let's see. Alright, let's see how that does us. It's a Momo.
Hi, Momo. You're gonna have to give me a minute.
Mr. Momo with his attitude. Grrr. Momo.
I told you just gotta give me a minute.
Momo has no minutes to give. He's very much a right now, damn it. Huh. You're very much a right fucking now, huh? Hi. Oh, this hair poking your eyeballs. We gotta trim that. Yeah, we gotta trim that. Hi, old man. How goes it? You okay? Ooh, back scratches. Hi. Hi, buddy. Has you got a happy tail for me today? Yeah, we got happy tails. You just want to see what mommy's working on? Something for dad. Yeah. Aww. Aw, kisses. Kisses for Chungy. Hi. Hi, my guy. Yes. Hi. You being good? You having a good afternoon? Yeah? Oh, scritches.
Okay.
Oh, Daddy's ready now. Careful.
Sorry, Daddy had to
Careful.
get out of
There you go.
there. Excuse me, Ed. Got it.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem, my wiggles.
Alright, so that might be a smoother transition. I mean, we might lose the smooth transition once we start adding the color on. Oh, I still haven't heard anything about my Joann's order. Haven't gotten an email back. The other half of my order still says processing. Where the hell's my shit, Joann's? I would be more understanding and a little more patient with their message on the website that about high demand and orders taking a little longer to process. If I hadn't already gotten half of my order. Okay? Did the warehouse burn down in the time that you sent my order? Like, part of it? I don't understand. I sent my email late in the evening on the 13th. I got an automated response back about, oh, we're preparing your answer. It'll be a little bit due to high email. And I'm like, uh-huh. Right. It's now the 17th. And I haven't heard shit. And I'm really getting angry. And I'm not sure I'm going to be ordering from them again after this. Every time I've had some kind of weirdness with my ordering. I think this might have been the final straw. I mean, at this point, if something's out of stock, fine, whatever. Send me the colors that you've got. And cancel the ones that are out of stock, and I'll figure it the fuck out.
Honey, how are they supposed to make money off you if they don't sell things to you that they don't have in stock?
Well, at this point, they're not going to be making any more money off me anyway.
Well, honey, you said that last time, and yet here you are.
Yeah, but I mean it this time. I'm mad.
Didn't you have this exact same problem?
The last time the yarn showed up in like 6 different shipments and looked like it was shipped at store level, and it was so bizarre. I mean, what's the point of having online sales if you can't handle the online sales when you're primarily a retail thing? Storefront. I just should have tried Michael's. But then I couldn't remember the name of the label that I had looked at that I thought was similar to what I wanted. Alright, we've got a slight kind of, not really a divot, but that section feels a little bit loose. Alright. Alright, that looks pretty good. Of course, now your legs don't want to stand. We're all bow-legged now. Alright. Alright, Chungus. Alright, Chungus is just gonna be chilling there for a minute. See, I don't know if I should do the tail first, or okay, you're just not gonna sit still, so I'm just gonna move you over there. Our Chungy nest is a little wobbly. Should we work on the tail next and do the stomach filling out last? I don't know. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Alright, Chunky, you go sit over there. Okay. So we need to figure out our tail. And how we want to handle this. How long do we want the chunky tail? Is the next thing. So if Chungy's standing here, I want the tail to attach underneath. I guess it kind of needs to. Alright, that's probably a good tail length. I just don't know. Do we want it attaching under? Or do we want it coming out of a... I mean, I guess I can... I mean, this is the top of the shell, so probably like an opening back here in the shell for the tail. Okay, so we're gonna need like a triangle attachment point. Alright, so okay. This is gonna look a little strange. It might look slightly mermaid or snake-ish with like an open mouth here for a minute. I kind of need almost like a heart-shaped tab, almost. Almost. Kind of just need like a grabby point. Careful, careful. I did put some more finger protectors on the Amazon wish list. A couple different brands. Come on now. I've noticed they've started doing needle felting kits where it's like a paint by number but with fiber, and that's kind of cute. I don't know if it's felt, I don't know what base it's printed on. When I was doing my quick glance over, I was having trouble figuring that part out. But the kits themselves looked kind of cute. So our anchor point's gonna look a little rough at first. Alright, I just want to kind of do a quick tap in here. I'm just doing kind of a quick ring around just to get this a little bit bulked out. So we've got something a little more substantial to start out with here. So if we attach here, right, our little snake's gonna grab onto his butt, basically. And this is probably gonna take a couple of fiber snakes to get the tail thickness right here. And then we have to get our curve right too. here, Chungus. So if we see, we latch onto there, right? Okay, so okay, about that angle. About roughly. What the fuck is making that noise? I don't know if it's coming through the microphone or not. It's like a rumbling. Very strange. Alright, so. Oh. Well, no, that didn't really sound like a motorcycle. Alright. So we need a little bit more on the tail. It's not going to look quite so lumpy once we get there. Oh, actually, I'd stretch that out a little too far. To be careful here. Got the wrong finger in the way. Alright, we just need a little bit. I still haven't gotten into the second fluff bag. And now I'm not sure if I'm going to need it. I feel like I underestimated myself. And now I've got another bag of fluff. Well, I gotta figure out what to do with, unless we make the lawn flamingos out of that. Which I suppose we could eventually. Okay. So we're kind of attached here. Okay. So, work on trying to round this now. Or at least this round of wrapping. Alright. So we don't want to square him or flatten him. Sorry, I felt like I got a piece of fuzz or something touching me. Alright. There's our attachy tabs. I'm not going to make them too thick yet, because we're going to be adding to them, and we kind of learned that lesson from the neck. I mean, they're pretty flimsy, but we're going to end up adding more onto that section as we go. Like as we attach it, so we're probably okay there. So right now, our biggest concern is trying to make this look somewhat round. As my stomach growls. Alright, so I'm just going to keep turning as I work my way down here. Seeing the gaps that I have in our thin sections. Now, we might have to bring the angle back on the tail as we get the thickness right. Right now it can be straight. I don't care about that so much. We can get the bend to it, no problem. Once we get there. Can you crack that window a little bit?
Yeah.
My legs are sweating in these pants.
Sorry, what was that?
My legs are sweating in these pants.
Sorry, I couldn't actually hear you, so I was like, what the hell did she just say?
I've got those fuzzy pants on, and apparently it's almost 55 out.
It did seem awful nice when I took him out.
What were you doing?
I decided to make myself some Chex Mix.
Did you stir that while you were out there?
I'm on my third handful of Parmesan.
Okay. Probably one more handful and then taste it, see if it needs rebalancing. It might need a little more pepper, but I'm not sure. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing alright? You guys ready for the holidays yet? If you're celebrating? Are you celebrating? Or do you have your own holiday that you've made up that you're following? So we're definitely taking shape. Careful. There's a section there. It looks like we missed getting properly wrapped up. And that's okay. That's what this round of stabbing's about here. Want to make sure that we have a tail core that's gonna be workable. But we're getting there. This piece is going to need some extra attention here. That might be where our bend starts. That might have been why that didn't get quite as much attention. Alright. So. No, it wasn't right. Well, I mean, kind of where the curve starts, maybe. Kinda. So this is just really our first, whoop, careful, our first real tack down path, or pass, excuse me. So we still have at least a few passes. So I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off in a pointy point. It might be like a blunter point. I think if we do a pointy point... What are you doing? Peabut? Why? Every time I start streaming this week, you start being bad. Every time. Yeah. You know you're not supposed to claw that. We might have to do the pointy points with the color. Okay. So. All right. Let's start our actual rings here. Okay. And we'll probably have to do a few rings here. Just to try to get the thickness right. Alright. So what's everybody up to today? What you doing? What's your weather like? Momo woke me up at a little after 6 this morning. And then Zuzu came in a few minutes later. And I ended up taking them both out separately. But when I went outside, it was still dark. And we had a freezing fog advisory last night. And when I went outside, the grass and like objects outside that were exposed, like that weren't under our porch roof and stuff, everything looked like someone had taken a bottle of iridescent glitter or clear glitter and threw it up in the air, and everything was sparkly in my flashlight. Like even our trash cans looked pretty. I was like, okay, well, we look Christmassy out here at the moment. We're not getting snow for Christmas though. We're gonna have a wet Christmas. It's gonna be raining, supposedly. The last time I looked, I don't know if they've changed it again yet, but I think it's supposed to be in like the 40s or 50s and rain the entirety of this coming weekend, if that forecast is still holding. They like to go back and forth a lot. Alright, so that's gonna need probably 2 more, if not more than that. Oh, loudness, what is that?
I forgot how loud that was.
Yes, that's very loud. Husband's alarm. Go stir your shit.
Yep, pretty much.
Alright. I mean, it's probably gonna take more rings because I'm doing them a little bit thinner. We could make them a little bit thicker, I guess. But I don't know if we really need to make them thicker to start out. I mean, it might make it go a little bit faster. But then again, I don't want to get it too thick to start. P-Butt, behave. What are you doing? It sounded like you were ripping apart the box spring on the bed. We need that still, buddy. We haven't been able to replace that mattress yet. You can't be destroying stuff. So I feel like up here should definitely be a bit thicker. Alright, so this is my bottom attachment. Top attachment's gonna be alright. I know what they mean. That one kind of looks like a T. That'll get covered with our other fluff, so I'm not too worried about that. Right, we gotta have a girthy tail near our attachment, because we're a girthy dino. Dino critter. Alright. I know this looks ridiculous right now. It'll start to make sense soon, I hope. One can hope. Alright, work on getting this side. Shaped out. So I'm squeezing it to see how it feels. If one section feels a little squishier than the other, probably means I didn't really stab into that part too much yet. I'm also just kind of feeling the shape out, seeing how it's going. Okay, that definitely needs to be thicker still. Alright. Just some polyfill that got left behind. So that's fine. How much thicker? That might be good. So then we have to work our way back towards our tail tip. That might be a good jumping off thickness for us. We'll have to see here. As it goes. Okay. That might be, if I can get the rest of this attached. You can feel the texture difference when you squish it a little bit. For who's been tapped in and who hasn't. Alright, let's see how that does us. Kofi Bot's having a grand old time today. as it tends to. All right. These cats, man. They have been out of control lately. Alright, let's see here. So the lights on my fans in my computer went out again. I don't know what's causing it. I noticed they were out yesterday, and I think they were on when I started up yesterday. I don't know if it's interacting weirdly with the Bluetooth and that's what keeps turning it off. That doesn't make any sense, but when we started trying to get these wireless headphones to work, that's about the time that the lights started going screwy. And they're like built into the fan, so there doesn't seem to be any way to control them that we've found. My husband thought he had found something that controlled it, but then we were afraid we were going to accidentally turn the fans off.
No, you were worried about that. I just can't magically make a solution here.
But I don't know if they are controllable at this point. And I guess I can't really see my tower anyway, but it's just annoying because I got used to them being on. And now they're not. I don't know if there's a weird wire cross that keeps turning them off.
I'm pretty sure it's just software problem, the same as the other stuff that's been happening.
It's still fucking annoying. I was originally going to get some paint markers and try to draw or recreate some of our channel emotes on the clear plastic case, because you can see inside of it. Like I was going to do it on the outside, but the door doesn't come off. It like opens on a hinge, but it doesn't actually come off. And I was like, oh, that's going to be really difficult at that angle to do that. So I decided not to. And then I didn't know what to do with my stickers that came with the Bluetooth, I don't know what to call it, antenna, dongle, I don't know what the hell to call it, that we got. I ended up putting them on my paintbrush container. I just didn't know what to do with them. I didn't want to put them on the PC case, because eventually I'm not going to have the PC. I mean, eventually they get upgraded, right? So that seemed silly. I was like, well, the paintbrush vase is portable. So let's put it on there, I guess. It just holds the brushes that I'm currently using. So I don't have to go digging. You know, I thought we had the right thickness, but now that I'm adding the rest of this on, I'm not so sure. I guess we'll keep going, trying to match the thickness a bit. We'll see how we feel about it as we get further along. All right. Did you add any more cheese yet?
Yes. I should be done now.
I would taste it the next time you go
I'm
to...
going to.
All right. This is the bottom side. So this is going to take a little bit of fussing. This might take us all of today. Or at least a good portion of it. So I'm just kind of hitting it up this way to make sure that our rings are in fact attached. Just want to make sure our seams are okay. I mean, we can probably fill in the seams with color and help hide them that way. Because I'm sure we'll have some other stuff pop up as we're adding the color. Alright, that's fairly solid. Alright. Don't worry, we have more fluff. We have all sorts of more fluff. All of it. All right. Put that there. Okay. So, our tail might be a little lumpy. Hoping we'll be able to smooth that out. I mean, the neck's a little lumpy too, but I don't think it's too bad. Alrighty. So, I'm kind of sad we haven't had any snow. I mean, yay, we haven't had to deal with it. And all the bullshittery that comes with it. But we actually haven't had any here yet. I don't know if that means we're really going to get slammed later.
It's good to be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you turn it down, or?
No, it's still relatively low.
Okay. I hope that was a cat under the desk that just tapped my feet. That probably needs another bit there. Yeah, because you know, as I'm going down this, it's like, that upper section's probably going to need to be a little bit thicker. Whoop. That was a thin spot. Alright, so I'm going to tack that in on the bottom. Alright, well, this is the bottom. Okay. Yeah, so I think this upper section's going to need a bit more. Roundness to it. But let's work on getting this layer of fluff in first, I think, before we start worrying too hard about that. So I'm going to see this guy tightened up a bit. And see if he's shrunk any. Since we've been pulling the fibers tighter. It can happen sometimes. I really don't want any tail shrinkage, but we can add a little bit more length if we have to. If it comes to it. Sorry. Getting a drink. And I thought I could still stab through this with one hand, but nope. Needle got stuck and then it didn't want to let go. One-handed. So then I just looked silly there for a minute. Alright, so that's not too bad. Alright, we've got a thin spot here. Alright, come here, Chungus. I need you for a second. Okay, so doesn't need to be too much thicker, I think, but that might thicken up as we attach it. So we do have to keep that in mind. Okay, and I am still hot as hell. Hi, 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 hi. There we go. No cat fights on the bed, please. Ed, you're behaving yourself up there, right? Sorry, Ed and Little were like almost nose to nose on the bed, and that's not a good thing. And I feel bad because Little was there first, and then she was like frozen in place with her ears back. I'm not sure if she was growling at him, I didn't hear it. And then I get between them, she gets down, and then he gets off the bed. I'm like, really? Well, that was a waste, you two. Now nobody's up there. Alright. What cool things about fiber fill, or polyfill, whatever you want to refer to it as, is that it likes to stick to itself really good. So traditionally most people would use like roving, core roving. Probably be going a lot faster. I didn't have the money for core roving. This is what I had on hand. I did have to, well, I didn't have to, but I did go out and buy some more for like $6. Just in case I was going to run out, because I wasn't sure if I had enough. We've got I had about 2/3 of a 10-ounce bag of polyfill, fiber fill, whatever we're calling it. And I'm almost through it. Almost. So this is our side. Yes, yes. That was my finger needle. Stop it. The one thing that shocked me when I saw the advertisement for the needle felting craft kits on Amazon is that they had a little kid putting it together in one of the photos. And I was like, really? This is not like 10-year-old friendly. I'm an adult and I'm still stabbing myself through the finger protectors, and they didn't have any finger protectors on, and I'm like, I don't know about the age range of this kid. I'm like, yeah, a 10-year-old could probably understand it and follow the directions. That's not where my issue is. My issue is safety, because these needles are very sharp. Very, very sharp. They have to be. And I just don't think that's a good idea, personally, for a younger person that might not be giving something their full attention to be working on, especially without finger protection of some description. And I don't think the kit came with finger protectors, because I think there was an adult that wrote a review on it, and they said that the needles are really sharp. I stabbed myself a few times. So I feel like they didn't have these guys in that kit, which also kind of shocked me. So if you do end up getting one of those kits off of wherever, spend the extra couple of bucks and get the protectors. You might still stab through it here and there, but if you do, at least your injury won't be as severe if you hadn't. Because even if you do end up stabbing through it, it still slows down the velocity of the needle, I guess, because it is a little bit thicker than your fluff. Mine are also a couple years old, so I'm not sure how often you should be replacing them. I'm not sure where our curve is gonna start. I probably should have marked it. I didn't think to do that. I mean, I've been marking everything else. I probably should. Stop it. Hit the fluff, not the finger. Hit the fluff, not the finger. Alright. If you hear a hum, I had to put one of the fans on. That's why I got up for a second. I am entirely overdressed right now. Alright, so that's not too bad. Alright, where's our marker? Okay, come here, Chungus. Okay. So, Chungy's probably gonna get attached about there. So, if we have our attachment point there, Mr. Chungy's leg, could you cooperate? Alright, Mr. Chungy's leg is refusing to cooperate here. Okay, so if I have you put in there. Okay, so our curve. Probably gonna start about there. Okay. All right, Chungus. Okay, so yeah, about there. Okay. So that's about where our turn is gonna start kicking in. Oh yeah, Buzz, be careful if you're here. You got a shit ton of rain heading your way. Like, that storm looks ugly. Kicked off a couple of tornado warnings in Florida last night. I think I saw a tornado warning in South Carolina on the coast before we went live. I guess really anybody on the East Coast should be keeping an eye on that sucker. Although I did hear some people saying it's lucky that this came through now and that there wasn't enough cold air in the northeast to turn this to snow, because it would have been one hell of a snowstorm. Unless you really want snow. In that case, I'm sorry. I like to look at it, and I don't mind walking in it like the first day, but the next day I'm like, okay, I'm over this. I can go now. Because then it starts becoming problematic dealing with the dogs and just all of it. Alright, so I'm kind of starting to work on our curve, I think. It'll be a little bit more troublesome. To try to get this curve right without attaching. It doesn't need to be like as tight of a neck curve, but at the same time, I do need a little bit of cooperation, Chungy tail. Alright, so that's my top tab. It's a little bit of a longer angle, and we might have to work on the angle after we attach it, which is gonna be a little bit of trouble. All right. Oh, it's a sorts. Hello, sir. How are you? You're alright? I'm okay. Same as usual. Stress, stress, stress. Pretty sure we're gonna be taking this guy down to the wire. Depends on how much time I can make to work on this guy. So you might see some work finished on him on stream where he's advanced that you didn't see. And I apologize for that, but I'm gonna have to do some stuff offline. In the end, all of it will be together. I'm starting to number everything now so I know where it goes. I should have been doing that from the beginning because I got a little confused about what went where when I was putting one of the off-stream work sequences together. Stressed about getting this thing done. Stressed because we're still waiting to hear back the decision on this stage of his appeal. We're stuck in a limbo of waiting right now. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Especially when you already have anxiety to begin with. It doesn't help matters at all. And the mother-in-law hasn't been helping. And then the cat had to have emergency dental surgery. One of the cats. It's been chaos of one description or another. Where are we? We're about here. The next rep needs to be. So the cat that had to have emergency surgery, we feel really bad because we didn't know her teeth were that much of an issue. Like, we knew she had some teeth issues, but because when she ended up on our doorstep pretty much, and then the pound had her checked out. Apparently she was already missing a fang. Okay, so that's not bad. I think we can work with that. Alright. So apparently we had noticed that the old cat had been getting really skinny suddenly. And we were thinking it was just old age at first. And then we noticed her potty habits changed a little bit, and we're like, it's not very much. We're like, is she not eating? And I was like, do you think she's starving? Is that why she's getting so skinny? And Russell's like, well, I have some, like, pureed cat treats that I didn't actually use yet. He goes, I could see if she wants one of that. And the second he opened it, she, like, flipped her shit and just went crazy. And she ate it in, like, 15-30 seconds at the most. And he's like, huh. So, we got her into the vet pretty quickly. they saw us pretty quick, and it's like the third time we've been there this week, and they looked at her and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, she's got a pretty bad infection." And they had to take her remaining fang out, and they had to take a couple of other teeth out, and I think she only has 5 teeth left in the back.
Yep, she's got 5 molars left. That's all she got. And cats don't normally eat with their molars, so...
So we have to give her, the vet suggested, like, fancy feast with gravy. She might be able to gum that once the surgery heals and the infection is gone. But in the meantime, we're still giving her these pureed cat treat things. They said that was good because it was high in calorie and she needs the calories right now. But that was an expense that we really, really, really didn't need right now to add on top of everything. And in the middle of all that, the mother-in-law was being weird about something that was silly, but was pissing me off because I had plans to use the stuff that she was wanting to abscond with over the weekend. Because in the middle of all this going on with the cat, she's like, "Yeah, I need 2 of the big cookie sheets and 2 of the little cookie sheets because we're going up to so-and-so's, one of her other sister's house in Missouri to do some baking." And Russell thought they were going that day or something, so we took them out, and I'm like, thought they were leaving with the cookie sheets, and the aunt goes, "No, we're not going till tomorrow." And I was like, "Well, you guys are gonna be back tomorrow night," because, like, I had cookies to make, my mom had cookies to make. I need those cookie sheets to make dinner a lot of nights, and she's like, "No, we're gonna be gone all weekend." I turned and looked at Russell, and I was like, "You know, your mother tells you the effing bare minimum." And the aunt goes, "Always." I was like, "Well, I need those sheets. She can't have them all weekend." Like, that's not cool, because I need more than 1 cookie sheet to make dinner with. And so then Russell went out to try to hunt down another set of those cookie sheets. And of course the first Sam's he went to didn't have them, and then he had to go to the further Sam's to find them. It was just another expense that was like, why? The sister doesn't have fucking cookie sheets if she likes to bake so much. I was just mad. I was just mad. I was like, really? And then we're like, "So you're taking the car?" And they're like, "No, we're taking the RV and the car." And I'm like, okay. So then they disconnected everything and left everything in the backyard again. And they keep trying to get me to get closer to this demon dog of theirs. And I'm like, "No, that's okay." "Oh, she'll be fine once she gets to know ya." And I'm like, the dog is telling me not to come any closer. You can tell because the hair's raised up on its neck and it's lunging against its lead, barking and growling at me. Perhaps I shouldn't, push the boundaries. I've already been bit by a dog once in the face. It got my ear. If I hadn't turned my head, it would have been like on my cheek or something. And that was a puppy. So, dogs I don't know. I mean, I have my boys and I love my boys, but, The boys have earned my trust. This one hasn't earned my trust yet. And I'm stressed over my yarn order just missing. I'm also really, really mad. So how's the work going? At least Momo only woke me up once at 6 this morning. Still not really sure why. He did begrudgingly get up eventually after I got dressed to take him out, but I'm like, why did you wake me up if you didn't want to get up? He seems to be getting pissy whenever my mom gets up. I don't know if she's turning on lights that are bothering him or if he thinks it's supposed to be breakfast time. I'm like, well, if you want to go see her, go get up and see her. Don't be giving me shit. Going alright overtime tonight? Well, I guess it's helping keep the bills paid. It's better than not working at all, I suppose. In the grand scheme of things, but still, I'm sure it's a long night. So it kind of sucks in that regard. I'm so mad at Joann Fabrics because now this money is just in limbo. If it was my money, I wouldn't care as much, but my mom's gonna be upset that this still hasn't come out of her account. We still have X amount of dollars in limbo here. That's just really. Alright. So where am I? There. Let's make sure I'm not doubling up too much. So we're getting closer to the end of the taily too. So I ended up just lurking in your stream last night because I know it's the art style of that game, but I'm like, why is he running around holding the sword sheath by a string? Why? and I was also working on getting some editing done, so I was just kind of in and out periodically. And I'm like, dude, if you fall backwards, that sword is gonna end up somewhere you don't want it to be. Sheath or not. I don't think I've heard of that game either. Russell said it sounded familiar to him. I was like, what the fuck is up with that? Carrying my sword around like a freaking purse. Yeah, I was like, it looks like a tote bag. Like, what the hell are we doing here? That's not gonna be easily brought to defend there, because then we have to, you know, pull it out and... Like, why isn't it attached to you? What is this? And I've never seen people try to shovel water. I mean, if that's all you've got, that's all you've got. But if the pipe is still spewing water, it ain't gonna do dick. So I'm just like, why? I don't understand. And I was like, I've really got to get this video edited, so I had there's a whole series of Tales games. Oh, jeez. So I was like, alright, well, I guess I'll just lurk and I'll pop back in every now and again. I think I stayed until I had to start laying the audio in the background, and then I needed to be able to hear what I was doing, so... And volume check it. And I'm glad I got the bit of stuff I had edited down to like 11-12 minutes, but it still took me a couple of hours to do. My plan last night was I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this edited, and then once I'm done with that, we're gonna pop back in and start recording some more on Chungi. And that editing took me till like 10:30, 11, and then I was like, I'm too tired to start recording Chungi, and we're gonna work on Chungi tomorrow, so... I guess I'll just go vegetate in Coral Island for a little tiny bit in my off-stream game and start winding down for bed, because I was starting to get a headache too at that point. But at least the sassy grandma cat that had to have the surgery seems to be doing okay. She's still really, really wobbly on her feet. And we don't know if that's from the pain medication, from the infection, from losing so much muscle mass, because she's kind of a walking skeleton. She's got enough energy to sass me, though. Little was sassing me last night, or this morning. I woke up at 4:30. I felt like I was melting. I was so hot. I had to pee. The blankets were like making my skin crawl. I was having a moment, and it felt like the blankets were choking me. There was too much fabric. My shirt was bothering me. My head was hurting. I was just like, I need to get up. I need to pee. I need to change my shirt. Something's gotta happen here. My pillow needs to get fluffed. I don't know what's going on with that. We need to find the extra fluff for that pillow, because it's one of those adjustable pillows that has like extra stuffing. We need to find the extra stuffing, because I don't know, for some reason all of a sudden it just, I don't know. I was upset last night or this morning, and I was just like about to have a full-on meltdown. And I'm like, Little, you need to move. I've got to go to the bathroom. I've got to go to the bathroom. Russell was like up against me. She was in front of me. I couldn't get out of the bed. And I'm like, Momo's bed was like pushed up further towards my head. And I'm like, so down towards the end of the bed. I'm like, somebody's got to move, because I've got to pee. And I've got to get up. And I'm trying to drag the blanket that she was laying on, and she starts to go meow, and I'm like, don't give me an attitude. I've got to go to the bathroom, and I've got to go now. And then Russell sat up, and he was trying to move her, and then she started to get pissy at him, and I'm like, look, ma'am, it's cute that you wanted to cuddle, and I am appreciative that I am the chosen one tonight, but I have got to pee. And this is part of the deal of cuddling with me. You have to get up and move and let me out. Russell was in bed with us. We've managed to get away that Russell's been able to sleep out here for the time being. At night, we're putting the grandma cat in the kennel so we can keep an eye on her so she's not in the other room alone overnight, especially while she's not feeling well. And so we can keep her contained so she's not getting into trouble and trying to jump on stuff and hurting herself. But, so he's been able to sleep in our bed, so I couldn't just slide out the other side of the bed. I was like, I was trapped. I was like, I have got to get up. Somebody's got to fucking move. And the blankets were so tight I couldn't just pull them down and climb out over them. I couldn't believe how much she was giving me an attitude about it. And then Momo stood up. I'm like, no, Momo, we're not going out right now. It's 4:30. You need to lay back down. So I got him resettled. Because he's been having a rough time with his back, and we've had to go back to pain management with him again. It's been a long week, to say the least. It's been a long month since, I can't believe it's been a little over a month since he had his court call. And we still don't know anything more. And that's really upsetting, because we don't, like, we just want to know if it's getting denied again, so we can move on to the next appeal process, because we feel like we're wasting time. And it's like, come on. Like, shit's hanging in the balance here. We need to know. We need to know. This is horrible. Being held in limbo like this. I still don't understand why they can't just make a decision right then and there. And then with Thanksgiving and now the Christmas holidays, and we have no idea how long it's going to be now. We were hoping we'd hear in time for Christmas. Because apparently my mom's vision's getting worse. We're trying to get her down to see my brother. But now we need all the animals' acts to be straightened out so that the mother-in-law can take care of everybody while we're gone. Let's get that finger out of the way because I just stabbed it. It just doesn't end. It just doesn't end. I mean, like, Ed's UTI started all of it. And then we thought his UTI was back. Because he peed on the bed in front of Russell on our bed. And, of course, my rug shampooer has died. So I couldn't use that to get the stuff out of the bed. So then we had a nightmare of 2 days of trying to get the smell out. We thought it had come back. We finally got him into the vet. And it's like, no, he's fine. I'm like, really? So we now believe he was mad that the litter boxes weren't clean enough to his liking. I didn't realize the litter boxes weren't clean enough to his liking because Russell usually handles that. At least we got everybody flea medication for a month. Though we should have we should have wrote down when We gave that to them because I don't remember when that was now. But our vet got a new flea medication that they're using. They didn't have the stuff that we were giving them before. And I don't know why they changed, but vet's like, oh no, I really like this one. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if I like this one. They're not carrying the other one at all anymore. And I'm almost started getting a little extra weird after getting it, so I don't know if it's just coincidence or not. Or if it's just the cold that's been bugging him. Or if it was the switch that the puppy pad people made. And that now he doesn't like those puppy pads. I don't know. It's been a sleepless couple of days. Because Momo's he's gotten a little bit better. The one morning, he had woken us up about 4 times in a row. Like once at 4:30, once at 5:30, once at 6:30. I eventually just gave up and took him out. I'm like, I'll take him out. Russell's like, no, because then he's going to learn that you're going to take him out. I'm like, well, if the dog has to pee, do you want to get some sleep or do you want him to keep gurring at you? So, just glad it was only the one time that I remember. If he tried to wake me up more than that, then I don't remember it. Though I woke up at one point with my arm dangling down, touching him. So I don't know if he was being fussy and I was scratching him. And I fell asleep like that. I don't remember it. Or if my arm just fell off the side of the bed. I don't know. Sleep's been iffy lately. Yeah. Just trying to get through this time of year at zero bullshit. I would have loved zero bullshit, but, you know, the mother-in-law circus doesn't let that happen. It's just not allowed. There's always some kind of crazy bullshit going on. And even though Russell's like, it's not our problem, it ends up being made our problem. Which I keep trying to explain to him and he doesn't see it. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It becomes our problem. You keep saying it's not our problem, and then we get roped into it. Like, now the aunt is talking about buying a greenhouse type structure to put up over top of the RV when they're here to help it be a little bit warmer in there. And I'm like, Russell, they can't do that. There's the exhaust thingy for the propane heater. They're going to be carbon monoxiding themselves. That's not going to work. And and he's like, well, no, there's vents in it to open it to let the air flow through. And I'm like, then what's the point? The vents are going to have to be open when the thing's over it, especially at night when it gets colder, because the heater's going to be running. So what the motherfuck is the point? Because the cold air is just going to be coming in. He goes, it'll still be a little warmer. And I'm like, I don't really think this is going to work. He goes, it doesn't matter. It's not my problem. And I'm like, is this a permanent structure? Or is this a temporary structure that's going to be taken down and put up every time they come and go? He goes, I don't know. It's not my problem. I said, but it is your problem because they're going to end up making you put it together. He goes, yeah. He goes, I already know that. I said, see, so it is our problem. And then I was like, is this something she's gonna back into? Because she can't back that thing up very well. He goes, I have no idea. Again, not my problem. And I don't even know if the opening on this thing is tall enough. And he says, she said she measured it. I was like, yeah, but did she actually measure the top of the equipment that's on the roof, or did she only measure to the top of the roof that she could see? Because there's stuff up higher than, you know, the base roof line. There's all kinds of equipment sitting up on top of that. And this dog of hers is not supposed to be our problem, but all it does is bark when it's outside. And then I started doing my own research on this dog breed she got, that she had to have. And it's like on the top 10 list of, or at least in the top 3 of dog breeds that most campgrounds restrict. And I'm like, did she think about this before this grand adventure? And Russell's like, apparently they don't stay at campgrounds very often. I'm like, well, we're not gonna be able to stay at any now. Because she ended up getting a Doberman Pinscher that don't listen. And barks constantly. And loudly. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see people doing noise complaints about that. Campgrounds have rules, yo. You follow them, or you have to leave, no refund. I don't know, man. I've been noticing we've been going to bed a little bit later recently, and I'm like, that's not good. I was doing really good about going to bed like 1:30, 2 at the latest. And I was getting up around 10, but ever since Momo... Ow, that was my finger that wasn't protected. Ever since Momo decided to start doing his early morning wake-up calls. That's kind of gone out the window because we're so tired. And I have no idea. I said to Russell, oh, you'd be bleeding. Do I need a band-aid? I don't think we do. It's pretty much stopped. I said to Russell, I said, when are they coming back? So I have an idea. He goes, I don't know. They said something about Sunday. I don't know if they're actually coming back today or not. No idea. As far as I know, he hasn't heard anything from them. I'm so glad I wasn't waiting on those cookie sheets to do what I needed to do. Because he ended up finding brand new ones, and then she made a joke when he gave her the old ones. She goes, oh, maybe I'll take the new ones. I was like, Russell? Because she was joking. I was like, she fucking better have been. Because if I have to hide those new cookie sheets under our mattress until she leaves, I fucking will. Have you heard any more from them?
Well, Mom?
Yeah.
No.
That's okay. Since we haven't heard anything yet, I'm expecting her to call just as we're sitting down to eat dinner. or within 10 minutes of dinner being done, saying that she needs you to help
Nope.
Loretta back in. Oh, and there she is. She just called him. They did that the one time. They're like, yeah, we're almost there. Can you, like, help Loretta back in? And I'm like, Russell, dinner is going to be ready in 10 minutes. And you're going to eat. And he was out there, and his pizza finished. And I left it in a couple more minutes longer. And he was still outside. And I pulled it out and put it on top of the stove, and I went out to get him. I'm like, hey, dinner. And his mom was trying to start getting him to help do stuff. I'm like, no, you're gonna eat. This is not your problem. So, I guess we'll find out now when they're coming back. I'm bringing more chaos with them. Where'd I leave off? Here. Ugh. But we kind of need them to hang around close by until we find out what the decision is. Because shortly after getting approved, if he gets approved. What's up?
I gotta go test something.
Test what?
The spare key, see if it's mine or hers. I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh no. Why does she need the spare key? I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I feel like this is gonna have asinine bullshit written all over it. I'm really beginning to worry about his mom being out on the road with her sister. I don't know. He walked in the other room when he came back in, and I hear him talking to her, but I can't hear what he's saying.
Okay, no mute necessary, just let you know.
What happened?
My aunt apparently lost my mother's keys.
What?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
Like, lost them in the camper, or...
We don't know. She lost them. She don't know where they are. So, my mother was asking me to check the spare key that was there to see if it was hers.
Like, house key, or...
No, car key. She has an extra.
She has an extra with the doodle on it?
It doesn't have the doodle on it, but it still works.
Because that might affect the alarm going off.
It shouldn't. Not my problem either way, honey. All I know is that's her spare key. So she may ask Tim to pick it up. I told her to let me know when they figure out what they want to do. I asked if I needed to drive it to her, and she said, well, we're in Drumright, which is like 2.5 hours away, so...
Do we have to go to Drumright?
I'm going to wait and see what she says about Tim.
Because I'd rather find out and do this during the daylight than...
Well, it's not happening until tomorrow at this point. It's too late in the day.
Okay. Did they go anywhere?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's the deal.
I don't know. Which aunt lost the key? Doreen or...
Loretta.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Maybe the demon dog ate them.
Oh.
I'm not joking. I don't understand how these two function unsupervised out on the road together. I just don't. And before anybody gets on me, I understand that lost keys happen. I do. Happens to everybody. It's not just the lost keys, okay? It's always something with these two. I can't tell you. I think the mother-in-law contacted us once while she was away saying, yeah, I've got a card coming in the mail, a replacement card. I need you to mail that to me. Because she got scammed or lost her credit card or something, and the card got compromised. I think the card got compromised somehow, because the card people contacted her about a purchase that was trying to be made. She goes, no, I'm not trying to do that, and so they had to scrap the card. This is not the first time she has been scammed. A little while later, we got another card in the mail that had her name on it. I was like, Russell, what the fuck is this? We already got one, like, a month ago. Apparently she either lost the new one, or that one again got compromised and again had to be replaced. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like the queen of getting scammed, and I'm like, we've like even tried to put 2-factor authentication on the Amazon account, and we try to make sure no payments get saved on there now, because we use the one umbrella Amazon account to order stuff, because we use her Prime account to get the free shipping. My Amazon account's not attached to theirs. I have a separate one because I don't really purchase off of my account. I just had to have a card linked for my Kindle, even though it's free purchases. It's $0 apps, but they're like, you need a card attached, and I'm like, right. Even though you're gonna put through a $0 purchase, okay. But and now the aunt lost the mother-in-law's keys somewhere. Don't know if they're in the RV, apparently. Don't know if they're in the other sister's house. I don't know why she had the mother-in-law's keys to begin with. I get the feeling we're gonna have a 2-hour car trip tomorrow. And I have a feeling if we have to do... You know, if we have to drive up there, we're going to be like 15 minutes from getting there, and they're going to be like, oh, we found him. I swear, they're probably in the other sister's house.
Well, at least my mother took seriously the idea of me not being a good choice to drive up there. If I have to, I have to, but...
Is it that much bullshit to get up there?
No, it's just 2.5 hours away. But Tim apparently is relatively close to this area. So
oh, he is?
relatively.
What's he doing down here?
Oh.
Those keys are not cheap to replace either. So do we have to change the locks on the house now?
No. We have her house key, I think.
Do we?
Yeah.
I didn't think we did. I thought that was on her key ring with everything else.
No, I think we still have it.
This is probably a good thickness on Chungi's tail. Probably. If I can get this tip to... I have to be careful that I don't stab through too aggressively there. This is a thinner section. Ay, 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 ay. I don't need kids. I have pets and a mother-in-law.
To be fair, it's not directly her fault.
No, it just amazes me that these two are out on the road together. With a however many pound death machine. That neither one of them can drive that well. And if the car's at the other sister's house still, then she had to have driven the car back to that place.
Yeah, they've got the keys somewhere over there. We just don't know where.
She didn't lock them in the car, did she?
I have no idea, dear.
Okay, so this part is being a little extra fussy. Like, I don't want to blunt it too much. But I guess we can put the tip back with the color. Alright. Chungus. Chungus. How are we gonna do this, Chungus? How are we gonna do this? Okay, so have to be careful here because we've got our so how are we gonna do this? All right. Set that over there. Ah, there we go. You go that way. Is Mai in the dining room? I'm hearing like plastic popping. I don't know if it's.
Momo was wandering around.
I didn't know if it was Peanut on that cat litter container. It sounded like the lid bending and flexing.
I will double check. Yeah, I see you, buddy. Give me a second.
Okay, so. Okay. It's gonna be a little tricky here. So, hang on one second. We're gonna lose sight of Chungus here for just a minute.
Chungus, no!
No, Chungy!
I know. You gotta give me a second.
Oh, Chungy, this is so obscene. Nothing. I'm trying to attach the tail and it's... I really need another set of hands.
Ow!
What happened?
Oh, Momo, God, that fucking hurt.
What happened?
Oh, he freaked out because I stepped. Oh, buddy.
What'd you do?
I stepped forward and he ran over my foot and fucking raked it with his claws. Fuck, dude.
Well, I didn't know what had happened.
I'll kill you, fucker. Oh. Come here, dude. Oh, shit.
Alright.
Oh, you felt me good.
Well, I think the band-aids are in the bathroom.
Yeah, well, until I get better luck, but can we find them? I'm bleeding everywhere, so it ain't that bad.
Alright, Chungus. How are we? Alright, so we need to get our attachment points together here. Okay. So. We stab this into our tail. We're gonna try to attach him. We're probably gonna need a couple of attachment points. as I curse myself for making such a big one. It's gonna look cute. No, I know. It's just I always forget that they're a pain in the ass to put together. At least in camera. I thought you were gonna check on your toe. Or at least slap some hand sanitizer on it. Alright. So we are very much not attached yet. I mean, we're kind of attached. We're like attached by like a thread. Basically. So we definitely need to hit this up a bit more. Well, it's holding. I know our legs are going to need a bit more work. So all right. Let's get a bit more fluff here. Alright. I'm gonna start with this side. Okay, so that did poke through, so we have to be careful. We'll get our legs a bit more stable when we come back in. And
Hey, what's up?
hit the stomach up again.
Okay, that's good. Okay. 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 Yeah. Alright.
Alright, so that's kind of attached in there.
They found them.
Where were they?
She put them on the bed instead of hanging them.
On whose bed?
On my aunt's bed. My aunt tossed them on the bed instead of hanging them up, and then we just found them.
Nobody thought to, like, double check anything before they panicked and said the keys were gone?
No.
Did they call Tim and tell him not to bother?
I'm assuming so.
I hope so. Alright, so Alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna pop this pin out. So that we can try to create another attachment point here. So I know this isn't our normal mat. The normal mat is sitting off to the side here. This is just some foam. I don't even know what specific foam it is. Russell had gotten it for a project at one point, and we still had a whole bunch of it. And it's just kind of there, so I kind of tied it together to make a chungy sling, or a chungy pad. In an attempt to get this guy stabilized. So since it's a little bit thicker and our attachment point's a little bit more, oh, Chungy, your head, it's a little bit more awkward. Oh, okay, so the leg, it's kind of helping. Kind of. Alright, so we need to add another bit of attachment on this side. That was helpful. All right. Okay, so just so that I can hold that in place, sort of. This is when things start getting a little extra awkward. I have to be careful because of how I'm holding this. Okay, I think I can take these out now. I think I've got enough of it attached here. So again, as we go to add in the color, it will also help strengthen this up a bit. I'm definitely not coloring today. We might be starting coloring tomorrow if I can get the stomach sorted. Later tonight, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that tonight. Because we have to have game night with my mom. I have to go and let everybody beat my ass at Scrabble. Apparently. Because I don't have letter luck. Russell always seems to have the letter luck, somehow. And we have to finish making dinner. Gonna do like a quick baked ziti. Okay, so, Chungy, don't worry, we'll stabilize them legs, I promise. Okay, so... probably just need to shore up the underside attachment. Before I'll be ready to start adding more fluff to the tummy. Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's try this. Get you in there. Alright. So, this should help make sure that we are definitely attached. Although after this much fluff, you might be thinking, how are we not? But, kind of depends on where it's stabbed through, and if I manage to stab it through the tail and his body in the right places. Which can sometimes be a little hard to figure out until you start playing with it a little bit. It's like, okay, if I move you this way, are you still going to be anchored on there? And this is just gonna get put in here. It's like it still feels a little not loose, but not as tightly packed in that section. Hard to describe it. I mean, you can feel it. It's just a different texture. It feels fuzzier, it feels looser. It almost feels a little bit softer. It shouldn't be like concrete though, but it should have a little bit of solidness to it. Just the rest of our attachment point. Okay. <sighs> Okay. <sighs> 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 hoping I hear back from Joanne's one way or another, because we're running out of time to ship this in order for me to get the rest of it before Christmas. Alright. So I'm just trying to get this as compacted as I can. So that way when we come back with the other fluff, I don't have any weird surprises. There is a divot on that side though that we need to fill in. Like right here. Still a little bit of our red Sharpie kind of bleeding through there a little bit. So that kind of tells me we didn't really get too much coverage there. All right. How am I gonna attach this and have it not look totally ridiculous? That's the question. I feel like our tail's coming straight out, and I wanted it to be more of an angle here. That might be something I have to fix later when we're putting finishing touches on. Alright. Right now, I'm just kind of in a mad rush to get our shape figured out here. Alright, so tail's sticking up a little bit. I guess that's minor. Alright. Alright, Chungus. We have to fill you out now. So we need to get some big pieces here. All of the fluff. So here's the question. Do we want to do rings? Or do we want to do strips? So if I do how do we want to do this? Because we kind of need to fill in our armpit here. That's what we need to do. Alright. So Guess we're gonna have to do it in smaller chunks here. Smaller chunks of chungy. I guess is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna attempt to fill in this gap here. This might take a couple of passes here. Just to kind of fill this guy out. Just so we don't have quite so big of a gap, I guess, between like where this is, because this is the top of the base of the neck, so there's definitely a height difference there. It's gonna be a little hard to see. This, oh, Chungus, where am I gonna put you here? Alright, that's probably pretty good. As good as we're gonna get here. These guys are hard to do on camera. Sorry if the angle's not ideal. Alright. It's still kind of squishy. Alright, we still need a little bit more fluff in there. So like I said, we might have to kind of slowly add bits in here. Feels like we're making Reggie all over again. Look, Chungus, I will feed you later. Stop trying to eat all the fluff off the table. You're not a cannibal. Well, I guess technically you would be. I suppose if I feed you fluff later, well, you can't have that fluff. I'm gonna give you different fluff. How about that? Have you stirred that recently? I just don't want it to burn. No! Did it spill? This might actually help give those leggies a little bit more stability too. Just to kind of thicken up the joint area. As you will. Alright. So, let's see here. I haven't really stabbed back into the leggy from this side yet. Probably will be soon. All right. I'm just coming around the back side of the front leg here. One of the front legs. So I'm going to try to take this fluff into like the base of our front leg here. Kind of wrapped that up around that side. I'm just gonna try if Chungus will let me here. Need to be that was my finger. I need to be able to see. Right, so that's a thin spot there. Chungy, this would be easier if you wouldn't fight me so much. And then we have to color you. If I thought I would have had an easier time attaching and shaping the attachment points with the color already on, I would have pre-colored our limbs here, but I didn't think we would. That feels like that did help stiffen you up just a fraction. So I'm hopeful that this is gonna work out here for the better. Hopefully. I'll know more once we get you back on your feet here. Alright. So like I said, it does take a little bit of fussing for me at least. Oh yeah. That feels much better. I mean, your leg's still a little wobbly there. Oh, that leg's still... We still need to add a little bit of height to that leg, but... Yeah, okay. Oh, careful. Alright, so now we have to come back in and give this side that same sort of treatment. Don't know if that's big enough. It's a Zuzu!
Hi, Zuzu!
Hi, Wiggles!
Hi, Wiggles! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, Daddy! Alright, hang on, let me make sure.
It's like, Daddy, I gotta pee!
Oh my goodness! Oh
And I gotta pee right now!
oh my goodness, I'm so ready.
It's a 5-alarm pee-pee!
Alright, let's go pee-pee, Wiggles. Oh my goodness.
You know it's a 5-alarm pee-pee because he doesn't normally come in to say I have to pee-pee.
Oh, donk. Ow.
What did you do?
Donked me in the face, jumping up.
Puppy rocket.
Well, he doesn't always do that anymore, so.
He does when he's excited.
Well, yeah, but I try to spare him.
We need to find a...
That's Momo's. I can't put that on you.
He hasn't lost that much weight. Although his harness is pretty...
That's because his harness never fit right.
It's pretty loose now.
It's always been loose, dear. Because I couldn't make it any smaller, but I also couldn't make Momo size ones any bigger. He's always been a little loose.
Alright, so... The tricky part now is getting these to match up. That is going to be a feat all on its own. This side might need a little more fluff. At least we got the tail on, and our neck good and on there. Now we just have to work on getting this stabbed through.
Yeah, I see you there.
Okay. This all worked into here. Yeah, we'll probably have to add another bit on this side. This is compacting. It's good that it's compacting because that means it's getting attached into the rest of the body here. No, don't drop it. Okay. So yeah, that's still pretty loose there. It's like you can kind of tell this one's a lot more wiggly. Alright, so oh, sorry, Chungus. Ah, we're just breaking the joint now. We're just wrecking the place. Good thing we don't have any fine china around here. It would just be smashed to pieces at this point. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna stab this guy into here. Hang on, I need to get a drink. Alright. So oh my goodness. Spilled half of my drink on me. Apparently. Alright, so we'll be able to smooth that joint out a little bit with the color. Alright. So let's see if we can see from this angle any better. Oh, a little bit. Okay. So work on getting this put into here. All right. So we just have to be a little extra particular around our limbs. Just to make sure that everybody is going to behave here. I have to be a little bit careful because I did see the needle poke through the front side there. I think the middle here I'm probably okay. Alright. So we need just a little bit of a wrap. Doesn't have to be a very big one. It doesn't have to be very thick. Alright. So I'm just gonna add just another little... Ah! That got away. Just a little tiny attachment point here. Just to shore up our leggy poos. While I stab myself. Let's not stab thyself. 10-10, don't recommend. Okay. There you go. Put on some metal music. Or some good rock music and just go to town carefully. Okay. Alright, Chungy. Feeling a little bit better. At least about your connection points up here. I was a little shaky on them. And I feel like we'll get your legs stiffened up here soon enough. Once we finish filling out the bottom of the stomach, and B, the yarn should help with that. Sorry, I've got to get him in a position where I can see him, because right now me being able to see is a little more important. Just reattaching or reinforcing. There we go. Not technically reattaching because it didn't come off. Just reinforcing our shoulder here. Okay. Alright, that's not bad. Get my fluff that I dropped. Okay. So this guy can be a little bit on the thicker side. Alright. Kind of visible there. Now, I'm okay if we have some like seams and stuff at this stage. We can fix that. When we come back in and do our other passes. Oh yeah, these are still a little wiggly, but up here, that's good. We'll get this nonsense fixed. If I have to put a piece of wire up in there, I will. I will worry about that later. Although later's quickly approaching, but I want to see how the color does. And if the color helps stiffen that up, then we're good. If it doesn't quite do it enough, then I'll have to bust out my awl and basically hand drill a cylinder up the inside of the leg. And then maybe coat the or squeeze some glue in the hole. and then try to work the wire on up in there if it comes to it. Yeah, doing the wire in the beginning would have been maybe less of a trial, but then I would have had to worry about hitting the wire. Which sometimes is more of a pain in the ass. Especially since I'm not sure I really need it yet. Not sold that we do. Alright, dude, you have a good night. You've probably already left. Sorry I missed it. Thanks for popping in. Just got a little bit of a divot there that we're not going to be able to cover. Sorry, I'm a little slow to look at chat sometimes, especially when I'm dealing with the sharp things. Let's see here. Oh, yes. That's helped tremendously. Alright. Can you go start the pasta water?
Yeah.
Is that possible? Which pot are we using?
The other big pot.
Alright, water just below the rivets. He doesn't normally do the pasta water. But I am trying to get as much done as I can on this guy. Without having to record, which might not be an option. Alright. So, let's see here. Like, I'm still expecting it to look a little bit flat. I didn't really want to I didn't really want to lose the flat bottom. Okay. All of this popped into here. You okay? So I'm just gonna attach this last bit of fluff, and then we will probably jet on out of here for right now. I don't know if we'll be back tonight. I don't know if the boys are doing anything tonight. I think he's busy. I think this might be finals week. I don't know when his finals were. But I know they're gonna be playing Cypher in January on Wednesdays. Alright. But, oh yeah, we definitely have to get a little bit more fluff layers in there. That's not, yeah, we gotta build that up a bit. Alright, so I'm gonna pause it there. I need to go deal with dinner. But hey, Chungi has a tail. And Chungi is up on his feet, her feet. Might have to fix the tail a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to attach the tail to the leg. I probably won't. But something like that. Can't even see all of Chungi in the camera. But yeah, so we're working on filling this out down here. Alright, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Zords, hope your night goes okay at work. And I will catch y'all later.